Hello everyone, my name is Halvey. In this video, we will be seeing which Fire Emblem game has the most green units. Yes, green units. They can also be referred to as other, ally, or neutral units. But if you've ever played a Fire Emblem game, then you've no doubt had to deal with them in some way or other. They steal your experience, they get in your way, they take extra time to move, they are usually very weak, and a lot of times the chapter goal is to defend them. Sometimes saving them is a secondary objective for you to get some good items or something. Other times, playable units start out as green units and you have to talk to recruit them. Maybe there's just so many of them that they are strong in number, and some are just like a one-man army. Sometimes you just have to sit back and watch until they all get obliterated before you can progress through the map, and sometimes there is just absolutely no hope for them. They show up in all but the Arcanea games. So for this video, I counted pretty much any unit that is not a blue player units or red enemy units. So that includes green units and yellow units, and I still counted them even if they may act as enemy units in some games and maps. I did not count summons in FE2 and FE15 or FE8 and FE9. Radiant Dawn has more on easy mode compared to normal and hard, so I used the numbers for easy mode. I also don't include any DLC or anything in this. I only look at the main game chapters. Gaiden and Echoes have the lowest amount of green units. Gaiden has 16 and Echoes has 17. That extra one in Echoes comes from the Zofia Castle battle, which is exclusive to Echoes. Gaiden was the game that introduced green units, although they are colored blue, the same as player units, but they do act on their own and attack enemy units. The Rigel Plains battle is the map with the most green units out of these two games, with 10 of them, but only if you went to Fear Mountain first and defeated Nui Baba. Then Zeke and his squad will rebel and help you out. Engage is next with 26 total green units. A lot of playable characters start out as green units during battle preps in their joining chapters, but then turn blue at the very start of turn 1, so I didn't count them towards the total. Then chapter 22 is the map with the most green units in this game with 11. This is the map where you have to go around and talk to each of the emblems to get them back, and I still decided to count them as green units even though they don't move, attack, or interact with enemies in any way, but you do have to talk to them and then they go back to being equipped as emblems. Sacred Stones has 33 green units. It is a short game and I do count both routes. Chapter 19 is the map with the most green units in this game with 10, which makes sense since it is your standard defend map with plenty of weak green units that might as well not be there at all with how fast they can get killed. FE7 then has 36 green units and it is very similar to FE8, it's just a longer game, and its two most heavy green unit maps are both defend maps. In Kinship's Bond, you have to protect Nils, but you can also kill the boss to end the map early, and in Sands of Time, you have to defend the throne. FE6 has 38 green units. Chapter 11A has the most green units in this game, and that is because it's possible for Klein's archers and Thea and her Pegasus Knights to all be green units along with Echidna to make for 10 green units during this map. I did not count for them twice since Klein and Thea appear in chapter 10B. I just excluded that map. I did the same thing for Geese. I did not count him twice. I just excluded 10A since he's the only green unit in that map. Path of Radiance has 41 green units. These are mostly all actual green units, but the Tellius games also have yellow units who can be kind of controlled by giving them orders like telling them to stay put or to target a specific tile on the map. The map with the most green units in this game is chapter 19. However, they don't actually start out as green units, but once Naysala talks to Rayson, he and his other ravens will turn green and retreat from the map. Next is Awakening at 57. Most of the green units in Awakening are from the paralogs, particularly paralogs 9 and 13. In paralog 9, there are 10 green units at the start, but the boss will go around and try to turn them red one by one. In paralog 13, there will be 11 green units with either side you choose to support. You can also choose to not support either side, and then they'll all just be enemy units. Fates has 75 green units, and I combined all of Fates together since most of the green units come from chapters that are shared between all three games, specifically the prologue, which has a total of 21. This map is kinda scripted, however, and ends after only a couple turns and is impossible to lose, but I still decided to include included anyway. And then Paralogs 4 and 5 have quite a few green units each, and both of those are shared between all 3 games. Then Birthright only has 4 exclusive chapters with green units, Conquest has 5, and Revelation only has 2. Three Houses has 129, and I just decided to keep it as one game by itself since all of the routes share part 1, which is like half the game. Also, Silver Snow, Azure Moon, and Verdant Wind share many chapters in part 2, and many of the paralogs can be shared between the routes. Three Houses also has both green and yellow units, and the yellow units in this game are aggressive to both player and enemy units. This is seen mostly in chapter 7 of part 1 and chapter 17 of Azure Moon and Verdant Wind in part 2, where the three houses are all fighting each other. Also, a little piece of trivia is that green units in Three Houses cannot kill bosses. FE5 is next with 138 green units, and FE4 then just has one more green unit than FE5 with a total of 139. These two games really love their green units, and in Thracia there is one chapter that apparently has infinite green units, but there can only be 16 of them on the map at a time, so that is all I counted. But I guess if the green units die in this map, more will show up as reinforcements in a certain order so that there is always 16 on the map. FE5 also has a few maps where the green units are aggressive towards the player units, like in chapter 14 and 17a. Many other green units in FE5 are child and civilian units that you have to save or help to escape in order to unlock guidance chapters and get items and playable units. Genealogy has many green and yellow units. The green units act as they normally do and are there to support the player and attack enemy units. There are also civilians that give a full level up to the unit that rescues them. Then yellow units in this game are usually used to act as roadblocks to prevent you from going and seizing castles out of order. They are also used in more of like scripted fights, like in chapter 4 where you are forced to watch them die before you can progress, and in chapter 5 they attack and kill a bunch of green units before turning red and attacking the player's units. But then also in chapter 5, red units turn yellow and support the player by attacking enemy units. And the game with the most green units is Radiant Dawn with 209. FE10 is a very long game and is notorious for its long and slow enemy and other unit phases. It has both green and yellow units, and its most heavy other unit maps are in part 3, where the prologue has you working up one path and then an army of green units is going up the other path. Chapter 3 has just regular horses as green units, and I think it's cool that you can set them free and let them escape. Chapter 10 has an army of green units that are supposed to protect Alencia, but they can be pretty dumb at times. Chapters 12 and 13 give you plenty of yellow units to help you get through them, since the Dawn Brigade is usually pretty weak, at least that's how it is for me when I play FE10. And in part 3 endgame, the green units help no matter whether they are the ones doing the killing or the ones being killed, with how the chapter goal works in this map. I like the green and yellow units in this game. I think they were implemented rather well for the most part. So here are the final rankings. Love them or hate them, green units have been around for a while and they're probably here to stay. And with all that said, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.